bridges and highways we fail to repair today will have to be rebuilt tomorrow at many times the cost. This quote from our former president, Ronald Reagan, turned out to be very true because the need for better transportation infrastructure is growing and growing. Good morning, judges and classmates. My name is Kelly Sun, and my partner Tatum Lauder Mulvaney and I will explain why America needs to substantially increase investment into transportation infrastructure. About 4.07 million miles of road, 200,000 miles of rail, and 600,000 bridges cover America. But these roads and railroads are crumbling right before our eyes. Resolve that the United States government should substantially increase transportation infrastructure investment in the United States. First of all, Merriam-Webster Dictionary defines the word substantially as to a great or significant extent. Investment is to use, give, or devote as a purpose to achieve something. Infrastructure, for our purposes, is a system of public works of a country, state, or region. The affirmative side realizes that the average family has 2.28 cars, which is why we would like to prioritize roads, bridges, and highways. We're not totally forgetting about the seaports, airports, mass transit, and more, but we are prioritizing these three. Some of the major pieces of history on this topic are the Cumberland Road, or more commonly known as the National Road, in the early 1800s, the Transcontinental Railroad that connected the East and the West, and the Erie Canal, which some call the eighth wonder of the world. These are all examples of America investing itself into developing new and better ways to move, and things just kept expanding from there. Think about it. Back then, no one knew whether or not these projects were going to crash and burn, or if they were going to be a huge success. As Americans, we took the risk. We did everything in our power to make sure it would be successful, and it has obviously paid off. Right now, though, some of our transportation infrastructure is going downhill. Some of it's remaining static, and few are actually improving. The problem is we're falling behind. The World Economic Forum ranks us 24th in the world. We used to be first. They predicted that under current levels of investment, rankings will continue to fall. WhiteHouse.gov, yes, the official website of the White House, says that America is spending 2% on transportation infrastructure, while other places like China and Europe are investing close to 9%. Other countries are racing ahead of us, and if it's hard to catch up now, it'll be even harder if we wait longer. The population will only grow, and if we can't provide the growing population with sufficient and safe ways to travel, things will only get worse. Also, people's lives are at stake. In 2010, 32,885 people were killed on highways. Poor road conditions caused more than 1/3 of them, according to NHTSA Safety. Better alignments, wider lanes, crash cushions, and more could save thousands of lives each year. The I-35 bridge is a bridge that collapsed and killed 13 and injured 145. The Tennessee Hatchie Bridge collapsed and took the lives of 8 motorists. This bridge should have been repaired 10 years before the collapse. The fact of the matter is the government can prevent these deaths. It's not like there's nothing we can do about it. Another major reason to substantially increase development in infrastructure is the need to stimulate our economy for the long run. $130 billion. That's how much America's aging transportation infrastructure is costing American businesses and American families each year. Virtually every business and every American depends on this infrastructure, so when sound transportation development lowers the cost of the people and the goods, it increases economic productivity, which is a central part of economic growth. According to the Federal Highway Administration, every $1 billion spent supports 27,823 jobs. The multiplier effect is when we give these people the jobs, and those people use the money that they earn to buy other goods and services, and the money just circulates with that. Overall, there will be a net growth. Commuters each year lose $100 billion in time spent in fuel burn on their way to and from work. We cannot afford to waste such precious gas. The Roebling Bridge in Cincinnati carries over 150,000 vehicles every day, but it's so outdated that it's been labeled functionally obsolete. It worked fine when it opened 50 years ago, but now it holds twice the traffic it was designed for, and it causes mile-long backups. So companies, trucks, and our cars are just sitting there, bleeding time, bleeding money. During the Great Depression, a big reason that the San Francisco Bridge was built was to create jobs, and look at its value to the Bay's economy. And lastly, we can't keep putting this off. This is the time when we need to act. The problem will only get bigger unless we do something now. According to smartgrowthamerica.com, in 2020 it is estimated that if this continues, U.S. exports will have dropped by $28 billion. America will lose 877,000 jobs. American families will have a net loss of more than $1,000, and transportation costs will increase to $430 billion a year. It's like a leak in the roof. You can fix it now and go through a little pain, or you can wait. Wait and watch as the water leaks the walls and eventually the floors. And then you can maybe think about fixing it. It's your choice. Thank you. Please stand up.